Hi, my name is LaShonda. I am a single mom of two. I am a hairstylist and I run a health and wellness business. I also have a Quotes from Women's page. Go check it out. That's on my Facebook page, and it's LaShonda Lurks. And I also have a, I would say maybe a consulting business, which is called Rebuilding Women. And it's basically about helping women rebuild from the inside out. And I told myself my goal for this year was to help at least 100 women rebuild themselves from the inside out. So tonight, well, I want to come on here and talk about forgiveness. You hear a lot about forgiveness, but you hear a lot about not forgiveness mostly. And so I just want to come on here and talk about that for a little bit. So my two questions are you looking for forgiveness, and do you need to forgive someone? Forgiving someone does not come easy, because we are always looking for that person to apologize first before we decide to forgive them. Yes, people may hurt you. Yes, people say things about you that you don't like. Yes, you know, you may walk away with your heart broken. But at the end of the day, you must forgive people. Yes, it hurts, you know, but in order for you to move on, you have to forgive. And so that was one of my challenges once I left my ex, was forgiving him. You know, and it took me a while to forgive because I didn't really understand it, because I was so busy looking for him to apologize for what he did and how he made me feel. But till this day, I have never gotten that apology. But as I have grown since then, I have learned to first forgive myself and then forgive him. And once I chose to forgive him, that was the best thing for me, because now I feel much lighter, because see, I've been carrying that load for so long, just waiting, and nothing's happening. You know, he's never changing. So I'm like, well, why will I continue to wait for him to apologize? And so I say all that to say this: don't wait for anybody to apologize to you just so you can forgive them. You forgive them for yourself so that you can move on with your life, because that will hinder you, because you're not forgiving that person. And so the next person that hurt you, you're not going to forgive them either. So your best bet is to forgive that person who hurt you and keep it moving. And what else? Are you looking for forgiveness? You know, that was part of, do you need to forgive someone? Are you looking for forgiveness? Are you looking for it? How is that working out for you? Not too well, is it? Because you're looking for forgiveness and you're not getting it, and you probably will never get it. I've learned that most people won't apologize until they are old in age, and they realize how they have lived their life. They realize how much they have hurt people. And when they get old, they tend to apologize. So guess what? That's probably what's going to happen. But don't hold your breath on it, because some people just, it's not going to happen, because they don't see anything that they did was wrong. They don't. So don't sit around and wait for an apology that you know deep down inside that you will never receive. So you just make the choice today to forgive. Forgive them so you can be happy, so you can have your peace. And that's another thing. If you don't forgive, you will never have your peace. You will never be able to find your peace. Even if you move on, you know, to another friendship, to another relationship, to another business, whatever. Before you do all that, mentally, you have to forgive. Forgive. And it's hard. It really is. You know, but people will hurt you. But one thing I also have learned is that choose to forgive yourself first, because it's not always the other person's fault as well. It's your fault too, because you sat there and you allowed them to keep hurting you. You know, you allowed them to keep speaking to you in a certain kind of way. You allowed them basically to keep putting hands on you. You allowed that. You had a part in that as well. And so that's something that you're going to have to take a kind of accountability for, because you had a part in it. And because you had a part in it, forgive yourself for allowing it. Forgive yourself for staying too long. Forgive yourself for always forgiving that person all the time. All the time. And they just keep hurting you over and over again. But you stayed for it. and you're still waiting for them to apologize, and you're never going to get it. So forgive yourself first. That is most important. You know, some people are like, what does that mean, forgiving yourself? Try it. Try it. And I promise you, your mindset will shift. Your mindset will change. You'll be like, wow, you know, I really needed that because I've been holding on to that hurt and pain for so long, you know, but I had a part in that as well. I allowed that to happen. You know, so just choose to forgive yourself first and then choose to forgive that person. Forgiveness is so important, but forgiveness is not easy. It's not easy, you know, and even when that person never apologizes, if you see them in the street, you still speak, hey, how you doing, and keep it moving. And that will tell you if you have forgiven that person or not. When you see them, you can still speak to them. You can still show love to them. But if you know you haven't forgiven them and you see them in the street and you don't speak, okay, now you still need to work on you. And it takes time. It's nothing easy. It takes time because it took me probably a few years, maybe 2 or 3 years before I got to the place where I'm at now. And I have such peace. I have so much joy. I'm happy because I had to choose to let that go. That's something that sits on your heart. It sits down in the pit of your stomach. And if you've never had that feeling down in the pit of your stomach, listen, that's the worst feeling ever. Worst feeling. And that's when I knew I had to let go, and that's when I knew I had to forgive myself and forgive him as well, because I knew I wouldn't have been able to move on. I wouldn't, because still at the end of the day, we have kids together, and at the end of the day, somewhere down the line, we are going to have to communicate, and I don't want to continue having that same feeling. And so as for you, you don't want that same feeling as well. So forgive. Forgive. And what made me want to talk about this today, forgiveness, is that one of my friends, you know, she was telling me what she had going on, and my heart went out to her, and I was like, wow, you know. But she said, in spite of it all, she said, even though, you know, me and that person aren't talking or whatever, that person won't even talk to me, I have forgiven her for everything that person said to me, everything that person has done to me. I forgive it, and when I see that person, I still show love. That's how you know you have grown as an individual, because she said she wasn't always like that. She wasn't. But because she has grown as a woman, and sometimes when you start to grow and want to be a better person, that's when things start coming at you, and you have to be strong. You have to. It's not going to be easy to change, but it's worth it. And once you continue to stand up against it, guess what? You will continue to do so, because things are going to continue to come at you. It doesn't matter how good you're doing. It doesn't matter how bad you're doing. It is what it is. It's life. But when those things come, you need to learn how to be able to handle those things. You have to. But the more things that come at you and the more you're able to handle them and keep it moving, guess what? It becomes easier. It really does. But just do understand that you cannot do things in your own power. You cannot do things in your own might. You need God. And because of God, I'm on here tonight talking about forgiveness. Because of God, I'm sitting here doing this video. This is definitely out of my comfort zone, but I've been doing more videos now these past few months than ever. So that's how I know I'm definitely coming out of my comfort zone. But it wasn't easy. It wasn't. I had to pray about it. And I had to pray about when I want to speak on things, because I try to speak on things from my experiences. I don't want to speak on things that I know nothing about. Forgiveness, I know about it. I had to forgive some people in my life. I have. And that's the best thing I could have done, because you can't change people. You cannot change people. Always remember that you cannot change people. The only person that you can change is yourself. And that's the prayer I prayed. Lord, change me from the inside out. And I prayed that every day. Whenever I felt, you know, a little down and out, Lord, change me. Because through that change, it helped me to open up my eyes to look at people in a different light. to make me look at people and say I can't change that person. But the only thing I could do is change how I respond, change how I feel when that person comes around or when that person disappoints me. That's the only thing I have control of is me. So the only person that you have control of is you. Only you can control you. You cannot control nobody else, because when you try, you're going to wear yourself out. You're going to wear yourself down. You're going to deplete everything that you have in you. You're going to deplete all of your strength. And you will have nothing left for you. And if you have kids, you won't have nothing left for your kids. If you have a husband, you won't have nothing left for your husband, for nobody. Because you have depleted yourself trying to not even help somebody change, but just try to, you know, make them change, or not. And sometimes they don't even know that you're trying to make them change. You just thinking it or just praying it. Lord, change that person. You know, why is that person like this? That's not your job. That's their job. They had to figure out the why. Because see, what you see, they don't see. And you can't make them see it. You can't. Trust me, I've been there and I've done that. And I had to let it go. I had to let it go. So, that's what I want to come on here and talk about. I was going to go on Instagram Live, but because I wanted this recorded, I decided to come on YouTube and just record this. And hopefully I could be able to share it out. I hope this helped you in some kind of way. Because everybody needs a word. And everybody needs a different kind of word. And so this is definitely a different kind of word, speaking on forgiveness. And so if you are holding something against someone, if you're waiting for someone to apologize to you, if you are just trying to make somebody change that you know deep down they're not going to change, and they're not going to change for you, they have to want to change for themselves. If that is you, listen. Number one, forgive yourself. And number two, forgive them and move on with your life. Move on to what is going to make you happy. But forgiveness has to come first so you can have your peace while you are moving on. That's what you do. Forgive yourself first, and then you forgive the other person for whatever it is they have done to you, or however they have made you feel. Forgive them. And I promise you, there will be a release of peace on your heart, on your mind. You will look at your life in a different way. You will start to look at that person in a different way. It works. But you have to start somewhere, and start there. Lord, change me from the inside out. Those simple words. And you just sit back and you just watch how you change, how you respond to that person, how you respond to the things in life. You will respond differently. And even if it's with peace, you will respond differently. You will know it when you see it. You will know it when you hear it come out of your mouth. You will notice the change. Because nobody knows you better than you. Besides God. Okay? So, with that being said, take care. Be blessed. Like I said, my name is LaShonda. I am a single mom of 2. I'm a hairstylist. I run a health and wellness business. I have a Coastal Women's page, which is LaShonda Lurks. And I also have a website that I launched back in January, Rebuilding Women. Is www.rebuildingwomen.com. Go check it out. Let me know what you think. And I hope it helps you in some kind of way. Okay, have a good day.